Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we got some really interesting bodybuilding updates. We got some actual bodybuilding updates, but before we get to that, we gotta cover this quickly. Hopefully this is gonna be the last thing about Bob Cicherillo and Nick Walker, but I gotta cover this because it's very interesting. I don't know if you guys follow the whole thing. I'm sure most of you have, but for those of you who don't know, it all started by Bob Cicherillo calling out Nick Walker by saying that he has an age taper and he will never win the Mr. Olympia. Then Nick saying, who the F is Bob? Then Bob saying that he's gonna give Nick Walker the 8th place award at a Mr. Olympia. As you guys know, Bob is the MC at a Mr. Olympia. And now he got some lashback after that. You know, we got the MC of the Mr. Olympia, the biggest show in the world. Also, the athlete's rep disrespecting bodybuilders online on different podcasts. And after he said what he said about giving Nick Walker that 8th place award on the Mr. Olympia stage, he got a lot of lashback, a lot, man. Like, people are really enraged. A lot of people are saying that he should be dismissed as the MC of the Mr. Olympia and that he should not be the athlete's rep anymore. MPC Worldwide or the IFBB Pro League have not really voiced themselves. They never really said anything about this issue. They didn't revoke Bob's position or whatever. But what we got today is Bob resigning from his position as the athlete's rep. Let's hear what this is all about.
Well, I'll say this officially for the last time on this subject. Don't write me. Okay, don't reach out to me. Don't ask me. Don't refer to me anymore as the athlete's rep. Okay, again, it's an honorary position, just as I explained on that clip we just showed. Okay, at best, it's not an official position. There are no official positions, and there hasn't been for 10 years now. So I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm sick of it. It's just.
Alright, I am sick of it, Bob says. So apparently Bob is no longer the athlete's rep, and what he's saying here is what we all knew so far. Basically, it's not an official position. It hasn't been for the past 10 years. And to be perfectly honest, I don't need to give my take on this. I think Sean Clarida explained everything perfectly well. Sean Clarida, who is never into any kind of drama, who has always been out of these kind of things. He's always just doing his own thing. He's always just being a bodybuilder. He never really got into any kind of disputes online, but this time around he couldn't shut up. He couldn't ignore this and he had to make a statement. So let's read what Sean had to say, and I completely agree with everything he says here. So he says, wasn't Bob the one telling people he was the rep? I stay out of drama and I stay neutral, but Bob crossed the line with his disrespectful comments. I'm all for people having their opinion and stating it, but if you are someone that works with the league in any capacity, in the parentheses MC for the Olympia, should keep all biased statements to himself. Now, you guys might remember a year or two ago, Fouad Abiad had a similar beef with Bob Cicherillo about these kind of things because Fouad said that the athlete's rep is not doing their job, and Bob was really fired up about that. He was really angry. He was pissed at Fouad for saying that he is not an athlete's rep. He was bragging about all the things that he accomplished as the athlete's rep, which wasn't a lot, but, you know, there are some things, and he wasn't letting it go. It was like, I am the athlete's rep, and that's my job, and that's my position. It's an honorary position, it's an unofficial position, but it's my position, I'm not giving it away. And now what he's saying is that he's not an athlete's rep anymore. Apparently, he's sick of it. And the other thing that Sean says about being biased and actually working with the IFBB Pro League, working for the Mr. Olympia, I also have to agree, he needs to be neutral. He can't be having beef online with the athletes and being as aggressive as he is. It's just, it doesn't look professional, it looks really bad for the sport. I don't like it. Neither does Sean, and most people actually don't agree with Bob. However, this is the way I see it, guys. Bob Cicherillo has his podcast on YouTube. And every time he makes a statement about Nick or whoever or Ford, he's always saying, voice of bodybuilding, voice of bodybuilding, voice of bodybuilding, my podcast, my podcast. He's just doing this to promote his podcast because apparently YouTube is paying more than the Mr. Olympia or the IFBB Pro League. And I guess he wants to become a podcaster, and it seems like he doesn't care about his position in the Pro League or the MPC as the athlete's rep, or about his job as the MC at the Mr. Olympia. He is no longer MC at the Arnold Classic. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but he still is at the Mr. Olympia. And you guys know that Sean Ray was a commentator at the Mr. Olympia for a long time. People complained and they removed him as well. And after this, I think they're going to remove Bob as well as the MC. I mean, I don't think an MC should be doing these kind of things. And also, it seems like he doesn't care. It really seems like he doesn't care. I mean, he wouldn't be risking his job like this. It's not like he said, I think Nick is not going to win the Mr. Olympia, but we'll see. Or like, I believe Nick is going to be 8 at the Mr. Olympia. No, it was way different from that. He was like, Nick has an age taper. That's the biggest insult that you can give to a bodybuilder, especially somebody like Nick who does have a little bit wider waist. And I'm going to give you the 8th place award at a Mr. Olympia as the MC. He definitely crossed the line. He crossed way over the line, and he is well aware of that. He is doing this intentionally because he's getting a lot of exposure. He's having an online beef with probably the most popular open bodybuilder today. And I'm sure there is a bunch of people, younger people, who don't even know who Bob Cicherillo actually is. And Nick is here making a t-shirt. Who the F is Bob? 8th place. And Bob is also replying in the comments, nice, you got one of these in a 2X. So I don't think Nick is really taking this too seriously. He is having fun and he is using this opportunity to earn money, literally. I mean, any kind of drama, any kind of beef online is gonna draw eyes, channels like mine and other Instagram pages and other YouTube channels are gonna make videos about this and posts, and people are gonna be drawn to this. And when there are eyes, you can always make money. So I think Nick is definitely benefiting from this. He's getting more attention and he's gonna make some money from selling the t-shirts. But as far as Bob, his channel, his podcast might grow. I don't know if it's gonna become a very popular podcast. I honestly doubt a lot of people will listen to Bob Cicherillo, but he's gonna get some growth, some exposure. But is he gonna be fired from his position as the MC of the Mr. Olympia? And is that really very important to him? More important than gaining, like, let's say, 500 subscribers on his YouTube channel? I mean, I don't know. That's up to him. That's his trade. But maybe Mr. Olympia is not gonna fire him. Maybe he's gonna stay the athlete's rep and the MC at the Mr. Olympia. Obviously, he's doing this for the exposure, for the eyes, for the money eventually. But again, what Sean said, as the athlete's rep, as somebody who is working with the IFBB and for the Mr. Olympia, disrespecting bodybuilders online is just creating a really bad look for the league. And of course, for the title of the most prestigious bodybuilding title in the world, Mr. Olympia. You guys tell me, what do you think down below in the comment section? Alright, the next thing we got is an actual bodybuilding update. It's been a while, right? So we got Krizo at 9 weeks out of Pittsburgh Pro, where he's going to be facing a lot of pretty big name guys like Nick Walker, Martin Fitzwater, and the others. And to be honest, based on what I'm seeing right here, it seems like Krizo is by far in the best shape at this point. I would say he's probably in the best condition out of all the guys who are doing the New York as well. So he's definitely ready early. I mean, he had a time off of everything when he had his shoulder surgery. And he got a little bit chubby, but he got in shape really quickly. And I guess his approach is to get ready early and then maybe work on fullness. Now, you guys know that his new coach is George Farah. For the longest time, he has been working with some coach from Slovakia. It's not like when back in the day, Urs was working with some coach from Austria, and that coach became the best coach in the world. This guy from Slovakia did not become the best coach in the world. So Krizo worked with a coach that he worked with for a long time, a local coach basically, and now he's working with one of the best coaches in the world. I mean, I don't know how devoted George Farah is these days because he has has been retiring and coming back, but all the guys that he prepped so far, he always has done a phenomenal job with so many of them. And like, if you look at his best guys of all time, I mean, he prepped Dexter Jackson for almost his whole career. I believe for the last 15 years of Dexter's career, he prepped Kai Green for the majority of his career, and so many other great bodybuilders. So George Farah is definitely one of the greatest, one of the, let's say, at least top 10 greatest coaches of all time, maybe even better than that. And now he's working with Krizo and no other top open guys as far as I know. So I believe this might be the year we see Krizo at his actual fullest potential. Now, as far as his shoulder surgery, is there an asymmetry with his right and left side? I don't think so. I don't see it here. In that previous physique update that he posted, the cameraman, actually, the guy that took that photo, told me in the comments that it was just the mirror that made him look asymmetrical, that he has no such issues. And here you can also see he looks pretty good, pretty symmetrical, and he looks shredded. A little bit flat, I would say, but for this point in time, he's definitely ahead with condition. However, based on RX Muscle, I don't know where they got this information, maybe he wrote it somewhere in the comments. Apparently Krizo is 290 pounds at 9 weeks or 8.5 weeks out of Pittsburgh Pro. Guys, 290 pounds. I mean, who else is this heavy right now and also in this kind of condition? I mean, I'm not saying he's gonna be the most complete bodybuilder on that stage, but just pure freak factor, size-wise, he is definitely gonna be one of the biggest guys, and I'm pretty sure the guy with the biggest arms. But I'm not so sure about that because Nick Walker is doing the show, and whatever happens at this show, it's gonna be super interesting to see these monsters compared. Two guys with the best arms in the world for the past 5 or 10 years. No matter where Krizo places, it's still gonna be an awesome show just to see these two guys compared, but based on his conditioning right now and weight as well, it seems like he is bringing something. Alright, and finally in this video we got some fresh blood, a new kid on the block. I don't even know what his real name is, but his Instagram handle is Colossus Ken, and this is the guy that turned pro, I think, last year at the Nationals. He won the overall and he did look absolutely phenomenal. He was really well shaped and he looked like he had a lot of potential, but you never know with these guys. Like Patrick Moore had a lot of potential in 2019, but since then he not only he didn't make any progress, but he got worse. So you can never be sure if these guys are gonna make progress, no matter how young they are, how much potential it seems like they have. This guy lived up to his potential, it seems like, at this point. He is actually also prepping for the New York Pro for his pro debut, and based on what I'm seeing right here, it seems like he's gonna do some serious damage. I mean, do I see him like winning his first pro show and his first show being the New York Pro? Kind of the same case like with Nick Walker, only Nick Walker did the Chicago Pro right after he turned pro actually, but I would say his real pro debut was New York Pro and he won. So can this guy pull that off as well? I mean, it would be a bold prediction because you don't know what kind of conditioning he's going to bring, but based on the way he looks right now, and if Martin and Nick Walker don't end up doing the New York Pro against guys like Regan Grimes, Krizo, and Blessing of Oribu and the others, I mean, it seems like he definitely has the chance. As far as facing Nick Walker and Martin, you know, that's definitely not very likely to happen, but he definitely has a lot of potential. If not to win the New York Pro, I think this guy is going to be a future star. I mean, not future star, but only in a couple of months from now, he's going to have his breakthrough at the New York Pro, and I can see him winning a pro show this year, if not New York, some of the other shows, and qualifying for the Mr. Olympia. Let's see. Let's wait and see what kind of conditioning he's going to bring. He was well conditioned for the Nationals, but now with his new size, it seems like he grew a ton, man. He looks like a completely different person. He was a lot smaller when he turned pro, and now he looks massive, like really huge. The legs are doubled in size, the back is twice as wide, the arms are bigger, the chest is bigger, he's just wider and rounder and just bigger, and his conditioning is also very good for 10 weeks out. This is spot on. The fullness is there, the shape is there as well. He has everything, as you can see, the quads, the chest, the arms, the shoulders, the back as well. The back doesn't look as good in the back double, but he's not in shape yet. We'll see what it's going to look like once he's actually in condition. But name a pro that looked very good in the back in their first pro year. It never happens, basically. Everybody has to improve their back when they started pro careers. That's the body part that comes in last. So I think this guy, his back is pretty good for this point. So I think this guy has a lot of potential to do some really good things in bodybuilding. I think he's one of the future stars, young, new pros who are going to surpass a lot of old young pros, potentially, like Regan Grimes, you know. Regan has been the guy with a lot of potential for the past 10 years. He never fulfilled it, and I feel like this guy, I don't know how old he is, but I think he's very young. I think he's going to probably surpass Regan at the New York. At least I would like to see that happen, to be honest, because we all waited and waited for Regan to finally do it, but he never really committed fully, and now there are new guys, new young guys who are coming up, who are not going to play around, who are going to be focused, and they're going to do whatever it takes, and they're going to actually progress and get better each year and actually live up to their potential. And it seems like this guy has a ton of potential. You guys tell me, what do you think down below in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to support this channel, buy Hostile supplements and use the code EVEN10 for a 10% discount. And if you guys need coaching services, you can DM me on Instagram. We can talk about whatever you guys want to get ready for. Just get lean for the summer, grow more muscle, kind of do both things at the same time, or prep for the show. Whatever you guys need, DM me on Instagram. We can talk about that. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you soon in the next video. All the best and bye bye.